So let's take a look at exercise number 3. As in example 3, we are going to do exactly the same thing, but this exercise is intended to be a bit more simpler as compared to example number 3. So let's take a look at the given function, which is y. Okay, y is equal to a rational function. Right, so even though the question asks to find the intervals, we don't really have to be very specific on giving the answer for the intervals. Simply by drawing the table of shape of tangent, the intervals is already shown, or are already shown exactly from there. So let's take the first step, which is since we are going to have to find what is the stationary or turning point, in that sense, then we can get what is the value to be used for the table of shape of tangent. Alright, so the dy dx for this one, you have to use take this one up, x squared minus 1 to the power of -1. Then you can use your chain rule, or simpler version of chain rule, and get negative 2x divided by x squared minus 1 square, and let this equals to 0. So we're going to skip a little bit of details over here, and you don't have to worry about the denominator, as to find the value of x correspond to dy dx equal to 0, you just only have to take a look at the numerator. So simply negative 2x equal to 0, then you get your x equal to 0. Right, now that we have the value for where the table, the shape of tangent is a horizontal line, now we can draw our table of shape of tangent. Okay, simply put x over here. 0 will be in the middle. You can use again very close value, which is half, or you can simply use a 1. Just make sure that it's not within the range where x does not exist. In this case, when you use -1 or a 1, this part, the denominator becomes 0 and it will be undefined, so you cannot use a 1. So you take it closer, use half, and this will be our f. So I'm going to use a short form over here, but preferably you write it in a full form. Right, so putting 0 into your dy dx, you get a 0, so the shape of tangent is a horizontal line. Putting a 0.5 using a calculator, you get a negative sign, so it's a decreasing. Using -5 should be a plus, and an increasing. So in this sense, if it's less than 0, then the function is increasing. Greater than 0, the function will be decreasing. That is spelled out over here. And we simply have to write the conclusion, which is relative maximum point is 0 and -1. So where do I find the -1? You simply have to just plug in, or I can use substitute your x, the x equal to 0 into our y. So y is 1 divided by 0 squared minus 1. That is how you get your -1. Alright, hope this detail out the missing step that we actually skip over here because of the simplicity of the question.